Tao làm cái clip này để phản biện chúng mày, đỡ mất công phải gõ nói từng thằng một. Thứ nhất á, chúng mày nói chỉ có bên Việt Nam, thì tỷ phú mới giàu tiền từ đất thôi. Ở bên Mỹ á, ở bên Mỹ là người ta giỏi lắm, người ta tài lắm, người ta chỉ không làm mình từ đất đâu. Thôi được rồi, để tao xem tỷ phú Mỹ có làm giàu từ đất không nhá.
Bill Gates owns more land than all of the entire city of New York. Jeff Bezos' land is double the amount, clocking in at 420,000 acres. John Malone, the largest private landowner in America, owns 2.2 million acres all by himself, a landmass slightly smaller than the island of Puerto Rico. America is enormous. Yet 100 of the richest and largest private landowners in America own 1.86% of all the land available in the United States, the majority of their land being forests, ranches, and farmland. In 2020, Bill Gates made headlines for becoming the largest private farmland owner in the US. He had accumulated more than 269,000 acres of farmland across 18 states in less than a decade. Why? It's a good economic investment.
That land has always been something that the ultra-wealthy people of real means have desired. It has great intrinsic value. Beyond that, it is a limited resource. They're not creating any more of it, and in fact, quite the opposite. We lose farmland all the time. In the United States, we're losing farmland at a rate of about 2,000 acres a day. It is not only more and more important over time, but we have less and less of it. So it's an asset with increasing value.
Farmland values began rising in 1988, and except for the single-year declines in 2009 and 2016, values have seen a steady increase over the years. In the mid-1990s, farmland was valued at less than $1,500 an acre. By 2020, that number had grown to $3,160 an acre.
It's not correlated with the stock market and other major asset classes, and it's been a very stable performer. If you go back to COVID, when the stock market, lost 10, 20, 30, 40% at the beginning of COVID, you don't wake up and find out that your farmland's worth 50 cents on the dollar the next day.
Bill Gates is not the only one eyeing this investment. In 2011, the top 100 largest private landowners owned about 32.7 million acres of land across the United States. Today, that number has grown to over 42.1 million acres, roughly the size of Florida and Connecticut combined. His farmland grows onions, carrots, and even potatoes that are used to make McDonald's French fries. Today, the U.S. Department of Agriculture estimates that 30% of all farmland is owned by landlords who don't farm themselves. Buyers often purchase land from farmers who have owned it for decades, many of whom are asset-rich but maybe cash-poor.
The way the market works is the land transitions primarily to the people who will pay the most money for it. So a lot of farmland gets purchased by non-farmers.
A profit can also be made by utilizing the land in numerous ways. Approximately 39% of the 911 million acres of farmland across the U.S. is rented out to farmers. And 80% of that rented farmland is owned by landlords who don't farm themselves.
For a lot of non-farmers who purchase property, they may then hire somebody to farm the property for them. They may lease the property to be farmed by others. And leasing is actually often a very good strategy for farmers if it's a well-structured lease.
The involvement of private landowners has had a significant impact on farmers in the United States. Some argue in its support, suggesting that the process of leasing farmlands has given new opportunities for farmers who wouldn't normally be able to afford to farm.
Thấy chưa, chứ mày thấy ngu chưa? Tỷ phú Mỹ đấy. Chúng mày biết tỷ phú Mỹ có ngu không? Không đúng không? Nó biết là đất sẽ lên giá và nó sẽ cho thuê nông dân. và cái mức giá của nó sẽ tăng theo ý thích của nó. Vậy có khác gì địa chủ không? Sao mày ngu thế hả? Tại sao ông Bill Gates ông làm phần mềm, ông Jeff Bezos ông quản lý Amazon, nó linh hoạt giáo trên đất hả? Chúng mày phải tư duy lên. Bọn tỷ phú Mỹ, bọn tài Việt nó đâu có ngu đâu. Phải ngu như chúng mày đâu, ăn nó đi cọc phím. Mỹ là số 1, Mỹ là nhất. Ngu học, dốt nát. Thôi, tao dừng đây thôi ha. Tìm hiểu đi.